Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Ep.2 of the We Talk Film podcast. I'm joined by my co-host Barry. Hello,
What's
hello.
up, everybody? And we're also joined by our main host, Clayton.
Whoa, that's
He
me.
didn't even introduce himself today.
I was hoping you'd do
I'm
it.
a professional man. But today we are talking about one of my favorite films that's come out this past year. We're talking about a boxing film that has just come out, starring Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors. We are talking about Creed 3. Can't play that music for too long, otherwise royalty free will get us.
We'll get sued on our second episode. We won't make it to 3. Oh god, this is as far as we get.
Yep.
Damn, Creed.
It was a good
3.
2 episodes.
This is Creed 3, man. Creed 3. It was really good.
Creed 3.
I think that's a good way to start by saying that it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We watched Creed on Thursday, so a couple of days ago, because this should be coming out on a Sunday. There should be new episodes of the podcast every Sunday. I know, right? That's crazy.
But actually doing podcasts with scheduling.
I know.
Wow.
I'm going to try and be consistent.
How meta.
All right, let's get straight into it. Creed 3, right? Damn. It was really freaking good.
What a movie.
Why don't you
so far I'll kick it off. So what we have is Creed 3, an amazing film starring Michael B. Jordan, directed by Michael B. Jordan, might I add. First time directing Jonathan B. Majors as well, starring as his rival in this film. So I'll read a bit of a story recap here. So Adonis has been thriving in both his career and family life. But when a childhood friend and former boxing prodigy resurfaces, the face-off is more than just a fight. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, really, this is coming from the backbones of the Creed trilogy, of the Rocky franchise. This is the first film without Sylvester Stallone in it.
True. He's just a producing role on this one.
He's just a producing role in it. And so far, I mean, I didn't mind it. Like, this has to be my favorite out of the trilogy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's basically, like, gone in a very new and different direction. Not like it's standing on its own, essentially. It's not competing with the Rocky franchise anymore. This has become its own franchise now. This is the new era of boxing movies. This is the Creed franchise now.
Yeah, it's a hell of a third movie. I mean, for the third movie in a trilogy to be the best one, it doesn't happen very often.
No,
especially considering they changed directors for this one. All 3 Creed movies were written by Ryan Coogler and some other guys as well. But this one changes director to Michael B. Jordan, a first-time director, which is a risk in itself, considering, he's the main actor. You don't expect him to be able to direct it as well. And he did a really good job.
He did a phenomenal job.
I don't think they're going to get anyone else to do Creed movies from now on. I think dude's got that in the bag.
Well, that's because I've already seen something. Apparently they're going to do animated franchise of this now as well. Because since obviously for the making of this film, a lot of the fights in it that Michael B. Jordan was inspired by anime. And that is clearly represented in the fight scenes, especially from the get-go. It just goes straight into a fight this time around. I think it's the guy that he fights in the first movie, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Well, it's the guy he lost his car to in the first film anyway.
Yeah. Something like that.
So that's, his first fight, and it was his so-called retirement fight at the beginning of the film, and he wins, and it's all like this slow motion, almost like Sherlock Holmes films, what they did in there.
Oh, yeah, the Robert Downey Jr. ones? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but also it was all just it was almost like single takes when they were doing it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, he's getting beaten up, and then he's clearly starting to see like the body parts where he's like, I can hit there, slowly get there, which is very anime-esque in a way.
It slowed down like a Mortal Kombat fatality as he was punching dudes. He was going, it slows right down. You see the sweat fall off him. It's so good. Very clearly inspired by
basically, anime. And then obviously it takes place from that was your triumphant fight. He wins, leading him the heavyweight champion of the world and then it just stops, and then it takes place another 3 years later. That's where it picks up. Because obviously, his kid's a bit older now and everything like that. He's just like a manager position now. He's living the easy life. He's like, I ain't involved with this anymore.
And very famous.
Very rich and very famous. Living that good lifestyle. And then, obviously an old friend, which is Jonathan Majors' character, which I believe his name was Dame.
Yeah.
Damian Anderson.
Damien, I'm going to stop you right there and talk about Jonathan Majors, because I think he stole the show in this.
Yep.
I mean, I saw him in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and he was good in that. He was the best part of that movie. The movie wasn't very good, but he was the best part of that movie. And he ups another level in this. He's one of those actors that can switch just the way his face looks and looks so menacing in an instant, and you don't see it coming or know that it's going to happen. He can just do it just by, I guess, body language. He's such a good villain. It's scary, man. So good.
And that's the thing, because it's still like a very real world character.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing with like all the Rocky films and even the Creed franchise. What they do so well is making these feel very realistic. Like these are actually a real thing. Like they feel like real boxing fights.
Oh yeah, except the later Rocky movies, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, they've always made like this almost realistic world of boxing to obviously stay true to it all. But then along comes Jonathan Majors, who is just absolutely massive in this film.
Dude's shredded. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is
shredded.
He's not that tall. He's a short guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jonathan Majors isn't as tall. He's like an inch or 2 inches above him. But he's just
like 3 inches taller than Jonathan Majors. And I would not be getting into a fight with this man.
Oh, no.
Like, this man looks huge.
He's like twice your width. Just in his shoulders.
I know.
It was massive. Oh, so good.
So good, so good. But yeah, obviously he comes in playing as Damian Anderson, who was part of the homeboy group that Michael B. Jordan's Adonis character stayed at when he was a younger kid, staying at like a little youth center where they obviously were beaten on by a person.
Like obviously, boys' home.
Yeah, boys' home, which they're not very good places to live at. But obviously there was an event that happened where cops got called. Damian was at the time trying to be a professional league boxer, but he ended up getting arrested and basically put in prison for majority of his life.
Yeah, 18 years, I think he said.
Yeah, 18 years,
yeah,
something like
that. He got
that.
some added on in prison, but we're not sure how long the initial sentence was, but he was in there for a while.
Obviously, during that time, Adonis became to fame of the Creed legacy and everything like that, began his boxing career and retired. And so along came Jonathan Majors' character. He comes out and he's like, I want to be the champ. I want to be Mr. Yada, yada, yada. And obviously this is how they get into the conflict one another.
And he's not very nice about it too. He's not very polite.
It's very, very forceful type of action that he does take, and a lot of secret hand downs and stuff like that of using prison inmates.
Barry, do you know what we forgot to do?
What did we do?
We forgot to give a spoiler warning at the start of this podcast before we just told everyone everything.
It's fine.
Hopefully everyone listens.
They know the podcast. It's always spoilers, 24/7. All about fans.
They'll know.
And obviously there's 3 major fights throughout the film. So the first one's at the beginning of the film, which is Adonis' retirement fight. Then the middle fight is the one against Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan's like the
what's his
Mexican
name?
guy, because he's an actual professional boxer.
Yeah.
That guy. Where is he? Because the same guy that plays like Victor Drago and the actual guy at the beginning, they're all professional boxers.
Yeah,
which I think just makes these guys so like lived in. And it's just was his name? No, that's that guy. I'm trying to find him. Felix Chavez. By Jose Benavides. Yeah. So basically, Jonathan Majors goes up against Felix Chavez because he was originally meant to go up against Drago, or the son of Drago, from the second Creed film. And obviously, something goes wrong. Yada yada yada. Damien ends up fighting Felix, and this absolutely decimates him. I'm surprised they didn't kill him off. I honestly thought they were going to kill that character off.
He said he was stable, and that's the last we heard from him. When he was
I thought being like Rocky IV style, you know how like
just kills
Creed's
Apollo Creed, yeah.
died, yeah. I thought that was going to be like the same type of thing. I was like, oh shit, oh no,
I mean, it
oh
could have
no.
been. We don't know. Like he said, his mum was Adonis Creed's mum was like, "Hey, how is he?" And then he's like, "Oh, he's stable," and that was the last we heard of him in the movie.
Oh no, he rocked up at the end in the final fight. Yeah, he was in the final fight in the crowd.
I didn't see him. I probably wasn't focusing on him.
He had like he had a real bad face though.
He had like a full body cast. He couldn't move. He couldn't turn his head. They accidentally faced him the wrong way.
Yeah. And so basically because of that fight, because Felix at the time was the world heavyweight champion since Adonis's retirement, and obviously Damien winning that fight led him to be the heavyweight champ, and that just basically got to his head, and he started like quick. Oh yeah, like that was a complete 180 type. Or you could say like obviously gradually, but as soon as it got to that point, just straight at that fight.
As soon as he won, it took him about 10 minutes to have like a weird beach party full of like hookers and drug guys. It was
yeah.
He like drove there straight away. He didn't.
So then obviously there's character stuff happens with Adonis, and he does feel bad about what happened in the past, running away from Damien, leaving him there to get arrested and everything like that. And so Damien just keeps calling him out, keeps calling him bad things about him, his family, because he's also like got a lot of family problems going on and stuff like that. Like his wife, played by Tessa Thompson, is obviously Valkyrie is a singer who is going deaf. That's been her character throughout the entire franchise, and she is still slowly going deaf. And also the daughter as well. She is deaf, and a lot of this film is very silent.
Yeah, there's lots of subtitles. I forgot that there were deaf characters in the Creed franchise. I didn't remember that. I didn't remember his wife as a character at all, and I forgot that he had a daughter. Probably because I just don't remember what happened in the second one.
Yeah, the second one ain't that good. No. But it's just like, even those scenes, like obviously it does support ASL, American Sign Language, and everything like that whole community. Which we can talk about this a little bit more now, but the silence of the film is absolutely amazing to me, because there are points throughout the film where it does get very serious, because even Adonis's mother does pass away in this film.
What? Spoilers.
Whoa. And obviously even like all the talking scenes between Damien and Adonis and stuff like that, and his wife Bianca, are very quiet, real scenes, because and it works so well against the contrast of what everything's going on, because in the fight scenes and everything like that, it's very loud, very violent. Like a lot of things are going on. The music's really high, and then it goes to these like very deep personal conversation with the actors, and everything is just so quiet.
I know.
And even obviously like with his daughter having ASL as well, and him signing and everything like that. Like it's very quiet in the scenes, which I adore. I absolutely love that. Like the only other director I've seen do it is Martin Scorsese. So he's probably picked it up from that, because that was a lot of things in Raging Bull.
Probably.
So like that was just like, for me, that was wonderful to see, just a bit of quiet in these types of films. Because if you have like just every other film, they'll put like a little backing track behind it, a little bit of music to it. And for like deep conversations like this, I just feel like it doesn't really work too well.
No, and especially because most of them, the more important parts of the movie, I'd say, are so loud and intense that it's nice to have these little quiet moments in between.
Yep, because that's the thing. There's a lot of like training montages and everything. You know, the good old Rocky montages.
It has everything.
They're very they're very loud and everything like that. And then obviously all this leads up to the final fight between Adonis and Damien. And what a final fight!
Oh man,
like I could just watch that over and over and over again. Like I really wanted to go and re-see this film this weekend, but I just got too busy.
Oh no, I was tempted to rewatch the fight on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. But that's
because that fight was just so well done. You could see how like Michael B. Jordan's like anime influence was just put in so much into that.
So good.
Because like the whole thing about being quiet again, it like goes like a whole nother spoilers, a whole like another realm type area.
Spoilers already. I think they've got it by now.
Where it's just literally Damien and Adonis, and there's no crowd. It's just the ring.
Everything
it's those
fades
two.
out. Smoke. It's
everything
dead
fades
silent.
out.
There's no music at all. It's just them two looking at each other, and it's very intense.
because even as well during that scene, because I think before that they go to round 3, and then all of a sudden they play that scene, and then it's the final round.
It's round 12, yeah, and that
It's
scene
round 12
lasts
at the end of that.
what, like 5 minutes or something?
No, it
You
was a
don't
good, like, 10 minutes, like 8,
Yeah,
10
but you
minutes.
don't hear any
Yeah, but you
bells
don't feel
during
like
it
it.
or anything. It's
No.
like they're locked in their own world that nothing else can affect
Yep.
them. It's crazy.
Because that's the thing, at the end of the day, like, they were brothers at one point, and they do love one another, but it's obviously, like, people do change over time. Unfortunately, Damien did have to go to prison and all the complications with that, and Adonis to get the royalty type of lifestyle. He became what Damien wanted,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, and Damien
So,
really took that to heart, being like, "You lived my life. You took what I wanted. I
yep,
wasted my life doing this. This is what I deserve." And then
yep.
it cuts away. It reminds me of the scene in Far From Home, the Spider-Man movie, where it cuts away and Mysterio drops him into the smoke, the black area. It looked a
Yeah,
lot like that
like that.
without all the trippy stuff. It was just them focused on each other, but it was
Yep,
very
yep.
similar in vibe to how that scene looked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the overall fighting and everything like that, like, obviously with past Creed films and Rocky films, like, they've always been, like, very well done and everything like that, but this time watching it, it felt like you were actually watching a boxing fight. It
Oh,
literally
it's
felt
so
like these
good.
2 were punching one another in real life because
Yeah.
we were getting very close up this time around. Well, we even see there's one scene where Adonis gets punched by Damien, and it goes through the stomach, and you can just see the
Oh,
spine
yeah,
get
you
pushed
see
out.
his
Obviously,
back
that's an
lift up.
anime reference, but
Yeah.
seeing that in real life is just, like,
It
insane. Like,
was so good.
even if, like, since they're faking it for the film, like,
Yeah.
that's still gotta hurt a bit because to get that effect, like,
Oh,
Jonathan
yeah.
Majors must have punched him a bit.
I'm not sure how much of that is, like, CGI, visual effects stuff. Probably quite a fair bit, but all the fights, there were rarely any cuts, and if they were, it was
Yeah.
to just
Yep.
zoom in or show something more intense. It
Yep.
was really well choreographed and just really well done,
Yeah.
for sure.
And so obviously, yeah, Adonis does win in the end. And
What?
that's the thing, like, even though he's happy about winning and he takes the World Cup, it still wasn't like a happy winning
No.
almost,
He
like,
was still
because
kinda
obviously at
sad
the end
about
they
it, yeah.
still kind of sad about everything, what happened, and obviously what led them to be
Mm,
fighting one another. And at the end, they do talk to one another about it, and they still, are trying to be friendly towards one another. But unfortunately, the events of what did happen and everything like that, it
yeah,
takes time and to recover. And hopefully, maybe because they are talking about continuing this franchise now, because this one's
for
made a
sure.
shit ton of money.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna
And
do
it's
that.
the biggest, like, opening in any of the Rocky franchise. This one.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me.
So yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, and also as well, a good thing, I made a post on Twitter about it. I was like, oh yeah, such a
Sweet.
good film and stuff like that. The official Creed 3 Twitter page liked my
What?
tweet,
Oh, that's cool.
so they know we exist.
Oh, can we get him on the podcast?
We'll get him on the
Should get
podcast.
Creed
Michael B.
3 on
Jordan
the
on the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah. I wonder if
That'd
that'd
be
be
cool.
cool.
That'd
So
be really
cool.
cool.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But yeah, all I can say is just what a wonderful film so far out of this year. This is my favorite film that has come out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably agree with you. I mean, what's it got to compete? Cocaine Bear and Ant-Man and the
Cocaine
Wasp?
Bear.
Like,
Yeah.
not much competition.
But that's the thing, because even seeing, yeah, like Jonathan Majors in a film like this, because I haven't watched Quantumania yet,
Yeah.
but I've watched some of his other work, like TV show work and stuff like that. And I knew, like, he was going to be good in what he does,
Oh,
but
yeah.
seeing him in this was just like, oh, like, this
So
is a
good.
very good actor.
I know, dude stole the show. I mean, I'm
I know.
surprised Michael B. Jordan allowed that to happen, considering he directed it. You'd think that he'd put
Well,
his
that's the
own
thing,
character in
because
the
maybe he
limelight.
was just like trying to focus on that more because he was worried about, because this is the thing about like directing
Yeah,
your own
maybe.
stuff and everything.
Mhm.
Because I think Ben Affleck said this once when he was started first directing his films. He's like, he was very worried about putting too much of the camera time on himself other than the other
Yeah,
actors.
right.
So he probably was like, I'm going to try and focus more on Jonathan Majors, because there's already been 2 other films already about Adonis's character
Yeah, no, that's a good
as well.
point. I mean, Adonis in this movie kinda ends the film kinda where he started, but just a little bit worse. That's just
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's kinda, yeah, there's no happy ending, really. I mean, he starts the film a retired world champ. He ends the film a retired world champ, but his mum's dead, and his friend is like kind of his enemy now. So it's like kind of
yeah.
sucks for him.
Oh yeah, like it's a lot of bad things going on, and that's the thing. Obviously, his wife as well. She is still slowly going deaf over time, or she had to give up her music, so he's also feeling that as well. And he's just trying to make like a good family living as well.
Yeah.
Like he's got his daughter to care about who has difficulties, well, was having difficulties at the school and everything like that. Because he actually got into a fight because she wants to fight.
Yeah,
obviously. Well, when your dad's a boxer, of course you got to fight.
Oh yeah. I mean, is that where the franchise is going to go? Are they going to do like a next
There's already been
generation?
reports of them continuing the franchise with Adonis's daughter.
The daughter. Don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. We'll see if they can
Yeah,
keep
because
up
that would
this.
be interesting to see. Yeah, because they're talking about like a live
Yeah.
action TV show as well, and
Oh,
that'd
of
be
course
interesting to see if they
tease
do
it.
follow her character. Like this could actually like the first ever like deaf boxing
Deaf boxer?
character,
I
a deaf
guess.
boxer.
Oh man,
Yeah, that would be different.
God, I don't know how would that go. How's
I
her
mean, it
sense
work
of balance?
because that's the thing. Yeah, like sense of
I don't
balance,
know,
and then
man.
also like sight as well. And
Yeah,
her sight must be really well if
pretty
she's deaf.
interesting. Maybe maybe it could go to like a Paralympic kind of thing.
Yeah, something like
That'd be cool.
that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
something
things they can
completely
do now with this franchise because that's
different.
another thing as well with this movie, and this is why I enjoyed it as well. It's carved its own path in the Rocky franchise.
Yep.
What we were saying earlier and everything like that. This movie shows that this franchise can continue, not on the backbones, not on the back of the Rocky franchise anymore.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't need
continuing
Rocky.
on its own franchise now. This is Creed, and that's the thing. It's so like very vastly, well, still similar to Rocky, but vastly different in its own way. And I suppose that's kind of better, especially for like the new generation and like the way films are shot now and everything like that. Like there's a lot more to it. And this just worked so well. And I hope Michael B. Jordan gets like all the praise that he gets for directing this. Because that's the thing. That's the I get over. This is his first time directing something.
I'm excited to see what he does
magnificent.
next.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see. Has he said anything? Is there any confirmed like
I haven't seen anything yet.
I don't know.
I know he's like writing stuff, and him and Jonathan Majors want to do a whole bunch of stuff together now and everything like that. So we'll see what happens.
See that. They wanted to do like a De Niro and Scorsese thing or something.
Why not? These two work so well in this film together. I love it. I want to see more of them.
Actors in current movie going times working together. It'd be pretty good.
It would be
especially with a start like this.
Oh yeah,
good start.
Big start.
Yeah.
I hope when it's Oscar season next year, we see this film get nominated for something.
Oh yeah,
like
true. We have to wait.
Directing.
We have to wait till next year to see it.
Yeah. We have to wait till next year to see it. But so, did we want to do our final scores of the film, or you want to talk about it a bit more on your side? Your thoughts?
Man, I don't know what else there is to say about it. It was just really enjoyable. The fight scenes were amazingly choreographed. Everything you saw was really good. I mean, it could. I guess my only gripe was maybe. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know. Maybe just have the fights be a little bit longer. The movie was under 2 hours, and like you were saying, how it kind of skipped like 10 rounds at the end of the fight.
Yeah,
maybe they could have shown a bit more, but even then, I don't know if they needed to.
So that's the thing. Yeah, I really felt like the length of it was quite well done, it's like this is what it needed to be.
Yeah, it's
like they
hard
didn't do
to
anything
find.
more.
It's hard to find something wrong with this movie.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, the runtime for it is 1 hour and 56 minutes. So yeah, just shy of 2 hours.
Just under 2 hours. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, that's all right. I reckon let's jump into some final thoughts and then rankings. Yeah. We'll give this movie a score. Did you want?
Oh, you can go first. You can go first.
I was just about to offer it to you. Okay, I'll go first. I think
everyone knows my praise about it already.
Did you go first last week? I'm not sure.
I think it was you.
I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Listen, you go. Let's do it.
New rankings.
Yeah.
Oh man, Creed 3. I think I'm sitting on an 8 out of 10. Sitting on an 8.
That's a good 8 out of 10.
It's
a
a
very good
very
8.
solid 8 out of 10, and I feel like
Yeah.
because it's a boxing movie. We've seen
Yeah.
it before, but it's just this is kind of done really well. It's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
like it's breaking enough new ground for it to stand on its own, but it's also not that different. Not that that's a
Yeah.
bad thing, of course. I mean, it's just a really well done, well shot, well choreographed boxing movie. I mean, we
Well,
don't
yeah,
get
that's the thing. I
many
feel like
boxing movies.
it's a next step in like boxing movie franchises. I suppose like this is the bar for like any other
Yeah.
boxing film anyone does now. Like this is the bar for new
Mm.
generation of boxing films. That has to
Mhm.
be said too now.
Yeah, well, I think the last
Well,
I
yep,
just think the last boxing movie was Creed 2. It's like it's not a mainstream
yeah.
thing apart from this franchise. Anyway, you can take it away now.
Well, I'm gonna one up you there, bud, because I
Oh.
love this film so much, and I'm currently just in love with it, and I really want to go and see it again. I probably will over the
It'll be
course
in
of maybe
cinemas for a
next week
while,
or
I
something
bet.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 on this
Woo.
one because I'm a like massive boxing fan. Grew up watching Rocky, everything like that. Loved the first Creed, and then coming to watch this was just I feel like what I needed to see at this point in time, man. Like it was
Mm.
just yeah, like you said,
Mhm.
so well shot, so well choreographed. The story for it was so well done. The
Mhm. Mhm.
acting between Jonathan Majors and Adonis was just so good. Well, all the acting between everybody, but between those two, the story what
Oh,
they had
yeah.
lined up for them was just amazing. Because I was a bit worried how they were going to do that a bit, because obviously it's from his past, Adonis's past as
Yeah,
well.
true.
Don't really get talked about it at all in the past 2 films. Like, how are they going to add this in? And then also not have Sylvester Stallone at all in this. I
Yeah.
was a bit skeptical about it,
They
but
mentioned
that's the
him,
thing. Yeah,
but that's about it.
he does get mentioned a little
Mhm.
bit, like
Mhm.
I think one sentence, but seeing it stand on its own, like this is amazing, and that's kind of the thing as well with the first Rocky. Like that was obviously Sylvester Stallone's idea that he wrote,
Yeah.
everything like that, and then now it's come to the new generation where Michael B. Jordan has directed this. Obviously, hasn't wrote it, but still directing
Mm.
a
Mhm.
film like this is just it's amazing to see, even as filmmakers and everything like
Really
that.
good.
Like it's good to see something like this. So yeah, I'm giving
Oh,
it
yeah.
a solid 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah, that's
9 out of
fair.
10.
I mean, I'd agree with you if I didn't give it an 8. But no, I see your point. It's a very good, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. It's a
Yeah,
really good movie. If you guys
very high
haven't seen
ranking.
it yet, I'd suggest checking it out if you can while it's in theater, because it's a hell of a cinematic experience in a theater, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
Oh, you get
especially
to
that final fight.
feel people get, like, punched up. It's so good. Oh,
Imagine if like all the seats had like little like bass traps. Sometimes every time there was a punch, you felt it in the
the
seat.
seat in front of
Just
you has a
oh
boxing glove, and every time a punch happens, you get punched in the gut as well.
yes,
Ugh.
that would be great. It's the 4D experience.
Ah,
Hey, look, it's Michael B.
IMAX
Jordan.
enhanced
IMAX
boxing edition.
enhanced.
Buh, buh.
Cool. So before we obviously wrap up talking about the Rocky franchise and everything, like we wanted to do a quick listing of Rocky franchise
Yeah,
movies.
we're gonna rank them.
We're gonna rank them. So do you want to go first on your ranking?
Should I go first?
You
All
go
right,
first.
I'll go first. Okay, so there's 9 Rocky and Creed films altogether. So I think the best way to do this was probably worst to best. We work our way up. I'll give mine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You'll give yours. We probably won't need to give any reasoning for these. Most of these are pretty obvious in the order they should
Yep.
go. But I'm excited to see how your list compares to mine.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's the thing. My list did change like a few
really,
times over the weekend.
mine didn't.
I went back and watched a couple of the old Rocky films and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that. So
yeah. I watched a couple, but yeah, my list didn't change. My opinion on most of these movies didn't change, which isn't a
yep.
bad
Yep.
thing. I
Yeah.
mean, they're all enjoyable in their own way,
Oh
even
yeah.
the goofy ones, which brings me to my list. And coming in at number 9 for what I think is the worst Rocky movie is, say it with me, Rocky 5. Rocky 5, man.
I have a different one.
What? I thought we were going to be in agreement on this. That's why I was waiting for you to join me, but you didn't.
No,
Oh,
no.
man. Okay, well, now I'm really curious. All right, so Rocky 5 comes in at number 9. And then number 8, I've got Rocky 2. I I
Yeah.
don't remember what happens in this movie. I know it's just kind of the first one, but again,
Yeah, it's like the first one, part 2, almost.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Let's
much.
do another fight. This time he wins.
So that's number 8. Number 7, I have Creed 2. Okay, again.
Hey, Creed 2 at number 7.
What? Hey, again, I don't remember what happens in this movie. I know that Victor Drago, whatever his name is in it.
Yeah, it was a very forgettable film. I feel like there was like no promotion for it as well.
Yeah.
I feel like when it came out, I was like, I didn't see anything for it.
I saw it when it came out on DVD, but yeah, again, don't remember what happens. Then at number 6, I have Rocky 3.
Yep,
That's the one with Mr. T. And that alone raises it to number 6 because that's just the best part of that movie is Mr. T. And then number 5, I have Rocky Balboa. This is one that I went and rewatched. I enjoyed it. I thought it was enjoyable. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't the worst. I mean, right in the middle, smack bang in the middle.
Okay.
Then at number 4, I got Rocky 4.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yes, that's the
Rocky
one with
4.
the Russians. He's like, I must.
I know that's like a lot of people. They absolutely adore Rocky 4.
Oh, it's enjoyable. It's so quotable and funny.
One of the highest rated ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised when I was looking through these I was actually surprised at how low people rated this one on like official lists, rankings and stuff. It was quite low, but yeah. But then at number 3, I've got Creed, the first one. First Creed.
Yep.
First Creed.
Nice.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really good. It was enjoyable when it came out, but not as good as the next 2 on my list. Number 2, Creed 3. Creed 3.
Yeah, Creed 3.
It's to number 2. That's pretty damn good considering this whole franchise is so beloved and just well enjoyed. And then guess what number 1 is?
Ding 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 ding. Rocky.
It's the first one. It's still the best one. It's such a good story. It's so enjoyable.
Such a classic film.
Oh yeah. It stands the test of time and it holds up way better than it should. So good.
Yeah.
Oh man. What do you think of my list?
Yeah, well that's the thing. That's a good list. Obviously, there's a few things that you got to find out that are a bit different.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Going back to the first Rocky, just quickly. Obviously, you and I, we're film students at this point in time. That is one of the reasons why I started getting into all this.
Really?
Was because of that film. That is one of the big inspirations to do all this. Because especially when I found out that Sylvester Stallone wrote that, he did the screenplay for that. To me, that was because I'm trying to write and star in everything I do. It's just that is cool. I want to do stuff like that. I'm doing it.
For sure. There's definitely worse role models to have. I mean, dude made an amazing story and did something that, stands the test of time.
I do
created
have
a 9-movie franchise.
Of that now that I raise higher these days. But we'll talk about that on another podcast. So I suppose my list, starting at number 9, which you had, I believe, at number 5, was Rocky Balboa.
Oh, wow.
I hate that film. I don't like it at all. It was just the biggest cash grab ever.
Yeah,
I'm just he's back.
I enjoyed it.
Doing it again.
Yeah.
Coming in. Number 8, I have Rocky 5.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I said, I don't remember much of that either, but I know I prefer it more than Rocky Balboa.
That was the one with
Rocky Balboa,
where he had a robot butler, wasn't it?
Yes. And when he loses all his money.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah. And then at 7, Creed 2. Which is it's still surprising. Yeah, Creed 2 is obviously really low, and then obviously Creed 3 is high praise. And then at number 6,
they're all good.
Number 6, we got Rocky 3 because
I got
Mr. T, Mickey dies in it. That was his trainer, and then Apollo trains him in this one as well. And there's the whole Eye of the Tiger thing. The Eye of the Tiger. Right. At number 5, I've got Rocky 2 because it's basically just part 2 to Rocky, and it's just cool, he wins this time. All right.
He does.
And there's something that has a tiger in the snow at the beginning with Adrian when he marries, gets him to marry her. Something like that.
Anyway.
Something like that. Number 4 is Rocky 4.
Yeah, same as me.
Yep. And then number 3 is Creed.
Yeah.
First Creed.
Same.
And then number 2, Creed 3.
Hey.
Because I absolutely loved it so much. And then, number 1 again, Rocky, because it is the original. It's the best one written. And
we had.
I mean, I hope for the continuation of the Creed franchise, they can do one up, hopefully. Rocky and Creed 3 is just Man,
So good.
I put them on like par and par. Like I both rate them like a good 9 out of 10, both of them.
Yeah.
So
See, I'd have Rocky be the 9 and then have Creed 3 be the 8. But
yeah,
all of the movies
I'll give
are
Rocky
enjoyable.
maybe a 9.2.
Yeah, just that slight bit higher.
It's that slight bit higher.
Yeah. It'd be a point higher for me. I very much enjoy that film. But yeah, all of these movies are enjoyable. They're good. It's hard to, have your 9th film in the franchise be the second best.
I know.
When does that happen?
Your third out of the new trilogy as well.
That'd never
that's
happen.
What I was blown away because that's never happened before. Hell like if any like trilogy either. I mean, think like of normally the third film.
What do we got? Rise of Skywalker? No. Star Trek 9. I don't remember what happens. What else?
What else has made it to 9?
Yeah, not much has made it to 9. That's another
Harry Potter,
one.
If you can't count part 1 and part 2, is that 9?
Yeah, I guess. Kind of.
Sure. Or was it 8? I don't know. There's a lot of those films.
Yeah. I think it was 8. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
That's some pretty good list.
Creed 3 is an amazing film. So is the Rocky franchise. Go and watch all of them if you haven't seen them. And especially go and watch Creed 3 because that was just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not much of a boxing fan or a fighting fan or anything like that, still go and watch it because I think it really has everything for everyone. Just a little bit of everything.
Very good. Oh, man. So I guess we can move on to part 2 of today's episode.
Part 2 of today's episode?
This is the way.
Which is The Mandalorian time. Chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. So yeah, episode 2 of season 3, This is the Way. We're going to Mandalore. Well, first of all, we're going back. We pick up Mando from the first horrible episode, which I didn't like. I even rewatched it just before I started watching this one. No. And I was like, yeah, I still don't like it.
These two should have been one episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, get into it.
Yeah. They should have been, obviously what you're saying, combined as one episode. It would have made so much more sense to do that. Just one big premiere. I would have been happy. I think a lot more people would have been happy. But I suppose we'll start off with the story for this one. We're back on Tatooine. We're seeing, what's her name? I always forget her name. The pod racing. Yeah, we saw pod racing. Yeah. Well, it is that festival at that point in time where pod racing does it. Bunta Eve. That's right. Bunta Eve. And we're back seeing Peli Moto, who made Mando's ship. And obviously all her little droids and stuff like that. She annoys you? I don't mind her.
She annoys me.
She annoyed me in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't remember she was in it. Even though they built the ship, I didn't remember she was in it. She's just annoying.
Yeah, that's a bad show.
She had a relationship with a Jawa. That's all I remember.
That's right. There's Jawas in this one as well. Maybe it's her husband. Or she's having a weird relationship with him. So we're back on Tatooine. So the first thing that happens on Tatooine, which doesn't make much sense coming from last week's episode, is that he gets a droid.
Yeah.
Even though he was supposed to be getting the droid, the bounty hunter droid, and that's the reason why he came to Tatooine to get a part.
He was very adamant.
It's like, here's R4D4.
Yeah. Yeah, he very much he very much wanted that one droid, and now it's like, I have this other one.
Yeah. Which is, but so do you know where R4D4 comes from, though?
Yeah.
Do you know where he's from?
He's the one who gets fried in the very first movie.
He's in the very first Star Wars movie from A New Hope.
Dude,
so actually seeing him
so that Luke buys R2
put to use, I was just like, he's actually doing something now, even though he's like a skittish type of robot.
I love him.
Yeah, he's a little character. I was hoping like he would get like a little droid. I wasn't thinking he would get like a big astromech. I was thinking he was going to get a small.
He wants an astromech, and she's like, "No, take the astromech," and he's like, "Okay,
take him."
Okay.
So yeah, obviously after that scene, we go back to see Mandalore for the first time. Remember? Yeah, we see Mandalore.
Yeah, that's
he goes on Mandalore first.
He goes straight there. Yeah.
And see obviously how it got classed over by the Empire and everything like that. It looks horrible. Because the last time I think we saw clips of it in season 2 of what happened, like of the glassing and stuff like that. But the last time we actually saw it in all its pristine glory was in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think so.
That was actually the last time where we see it like actually good almost. The cool thing about these shots, and they do it a couple times when they go to Mandalore. So when Din first arrives on Mandalore, they do like these really cool like POV spaceship shots. So it's like a camera on the outside of the spaceship and like looking down. I was like, that is really so cinematic. I love that. Mm-hmm. And then they also do it later with Bo-Katan's ship.
Very good.
And obviously he go down because a lot of the thing of Mandalore is the reason why they haven't gone back, because it's like, oh, it's toxic now because of all the radiation and stuff like that. So that's the reason why he had to get the robot. At least that's what he was told, but turns out it's not.
It's not. Yeah. I don't know. Why do you need the robot to test it? Do you think maybe his ship could do it or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the robot had to go like deeper into the crevice, like almost where the city is.
No, but he did the scan right outside the ship, remember? Yeah, the robot was...
yeah.
I guess that's a
Star Wars.
Throwing a toy to sell.
It's a toy to sell.
Oh, man. It doesn't matter too much.
So yeah, obviously he has a run-in with like the weird four-eyed creatures. I forgot what they're called. I thought I had them.
Mandalore monkey dudes.
Mandalore monkey people that are original to like Mandalore as well, because they just lived on the outside. Alamites, that's it.
I've got the Wikipedia up right now, so that's cool.
Nice. I thought I had it written down in my notes, but obviously I didn't.
Oh, it's fine.
So yeah, obviously he gets into a kerfuffle with one of them.
Oh, man.
And he's like, oh, yeah, that's it. R4, come back. We'll do our test.
He gets the gun. Before that, he gets his gun knocked out of his hand. I don't know how. Dude shot 4 guys in like 2 seconds in the first episode, and now he couldn't. So he gets the gun knocked out of his hand. So he has to use the Darksaber again.
The Darksaber.
This season.
No.
He pulls it out. He does some slicing. He's still hard to control for him. But he manages to best the Alamites. And then you head back and get a scan of the atmosphere. And he finds out it's not toxic. That Bo-Katan was right. And the other people's lied to him.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's been lying to everyone. You know, you can just go back there, build a new city, you'll be fine. Yeah. Except there's obviously one really cool thing about this episode, and this is why I have it a bit higher than last week's, is this weird little creepy crab creature thing that happens that grabs him.
Yeah, that thing was cool.
That absolutely shocked me the first time I watched it. I was like, oh, cool, like helmet, he's going to pick it up and it's going to be like an old vintage like Mandalore helmet. And there's also like, so yeah, it's like whatever it is, because people still trying to figure out on the internet as to what this creature is. But it's basically like a sentient eye thing. Like,
it reminded me a lot of General Grievous.
Oh, yeah. No, I've literally got on my notes here. General Grievous' brother.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Do get snatched up in the crab thing. It scared my brother. It was really funny. He got jump scared by the crab claw trap thing. Smashed him up. And then, I was like, oh, no, are they bringing General Grievous back somehow? That's kind of where I was like, oh, no. But
I was like, how did he end up there?
It seems like it's its own thing. I mean, they kill it, so I guess that's it. It's just a weird little creature, dude.
Yeah, and that happens all across Star Wars. Like every single film, there's always weird little creatures that they don't really explain.
No, which I think's cool, and I'm glad that it wasn't like, oh, we brought General Grievous back or something, which I was afraid was going to happen for a second. But anyway, Grogu gets trapped. No, not Grogu. Mando gets trapped. Yeah, and has to send Grogu to go get Bo-Katan and save him. Yeah, we get that little POV shot from his little flying
his little like speeder thing.
That was cool. He's like, and just looking along. Some shots like that I really, really adore. This episode was a whole step above the first one. My God, so good.
Yeah, I just feel like it was just shot so much better. Yeah, it was well paced as well. A bit more.
This one was written by Jon Favreau. I'm not sure if the first one was. I know this one was written and. Yeah, it was written by him, but it was directed by Rachel Morrison. But maybe that's why it was better. Maybe because Jon Favreau got to put his idea into this.
Well, here's the thing. Last week's episode was written by Jon Favreau and Granddaddy George Lucas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God. Maybe
I'm
that's
looking at it right now.
I'm surprised that wasn't like advertised.
And also, this one was Jon Favreau and George Lucas, based on Star Wars. So just Jon Favreau.
Maybe that's
just Jon Favreau.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think George Lucas. No, that makes more sense. It was just based off of. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wow. Anyway, so Grogu manages to get back to the ship. He flies back to Bo-Katan's place on one of the adjacent planets to Mandalore. Goes and she's like, "I'm going to show him who's boss." And then she goes out to kill Mando, who she thinks is in the ship. But then Grogu comes
I thought
out.
she was just going to come out blasting, just like
shoots him. Yeah, which I was like, damn, she's gonna fight him eventually, but didn't happen. And then yeah, she's like, oh, what happened to Din? And then they both fly around to him. They have a cool little chat on the way down to save him. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
She's like, I knew a few Jedi in my time, and I'm like, huh, yeah.
Clone Wars reference, and then that's right. She talks about her past and everything as well, of being a Mandalore and her family. And well, that's the thing. That's why I enjoy Mandalore a lot, because they are adding in a lot of Clone Wars elements into it.
Lots of lore for Mandalore. It's one of the most fleshed out planets in all of Star Wars. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then obviously as well, the big thing as well that we see is Bo-Katan uses the dark saber.
I was gonna bring that up,
and she knows how to use it compared to Din.
It's
swiving it around.
Why couldn't Din use it? Was he just not?
He's not ready.
What was it? Not ready. Okay.
Yeah, he's not like
willpower or something.
Yeah, something along those lines.
I don't know.
They do talk about it, and I was reading something earlier about it, what they actually do call it.
Yeah, they mentioned it in the Book of Boba Fett season when he was training with it.
Yeah,
what he was lacking, but I can't remember what it was. So it was
something because he's just like he's thinking about too many other things. Yeah. He's fighting it against it, and that's the thing, because Bo-Katan, obviously we know from watching Clone Wars and everything, she's used the darksaber before.
Yeah, she's really good with it.
She's really good with a lot of those things, and she's like calm and collected in herself as a fighter, so she knows how to use it and how to use weapons well and everything like that. Even though we do know Mando can fight, most of the time his hand-to-hand stuff isn't that great. It's mainly the shooting he's good at.
Yeah.
But then obviously Bo-Katan rescues Mando, uses the darksaber, gets him out of there, and then they go down to the mines together. The Mines of Mandalore.
They go finally down to see the living waters.
The living waters. And then it's like this whole religious experience that Din has with the waters. And she's like just talking about like her past and stuff like that, and like reads the inscription. She's like, oh yeah, remembers fonder times. And he's just like still quiet in the water, just like taking off his parts of his armor.
Yeah.
And then he starts reciting the creed. Because that's the thing, obviously these two characters, they are both Mandalorians, but they're just from two different factions of the Mandalorian clan. And it does get mentioned in this episode, like that, because of that reason, caused the unrest, and basically the reason why the Empire was able to destroy Mandalore so easily, because they were already at war with one another. Yeah, they were splintered. And obviously, Mando goes into the living waters and just drops.
He falls through like a hole in the stairs. Oh, God.
Yeah, there is a theory, because obviously when we go back up, we do see a creature. We do see a mythosaur finally in live action.
From the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I so hope we actually see Din riding the mythosaur at one point in the season. It's so cool to see. I'm getting more excited about the creatures they're adding into Mandalorian than anything else.
Well, it just adds a whole nother thing, because it's like Bo-Katan's like, oh, I've been down here lots of times. I've never noticed the giant lizard thing living in the pool.
Well, that's the thing, because a mythosaur hasn't been around for thousands of years in Star Wars lore.
The pool?
No one's checked or anything like that.
I guess.
And to see
like a pretty big hole.
Yeah. And to see this actually come out, because like even it's fanboying about like Star Wars books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To hopefully see a mythosaur coming back into like Star Wars franchises. It's like really cool to see, because maybe they're like gonna make Mando like the original Mandalorian.
Maybe
that became a Jedi.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that last episode.
Yeah. So this is the thing now. Like I hope they do this now, because they are bringing. Well, they have shown a mythosaur.
Maybe it's like history repeating itself, and he's going to lead the Mandalorian peoples with the mythosaur and
it's
the
like poetry. It rhymes. That's a quote by George Lucas about Star Wars. Everything has its own rhythm. It all happens.
It rhymes.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. Yes, I made Star Wars. Look at my money.
When I made Luke kiss his sister, it really rhymed like poetry. George Lucas, man.
Oh, George Lucas. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this episode. It was a step up from last week's. Killer second episode.
I wish this was the first episode.
Oh, yeah. I really feel like it should have been the first one. Should have just started with this one, especially even how it started as well.
Oh yeah,
like on Boom to Eve and the fireworks and everything like that.
The first episode and everything else would have made sense still.
Yep.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It's a bit weird, but maybe they just want to stretch it all out.
I guess. They had to make 8 episodes or whatever because every other season was 8 episodes, so they had to keep that up. But yeah, man, if this is where it's going, I'm liking it. Remember last week how I was like, I'm kind of concerned. I hope it doesn't get worse. I hope it gets better. I have faith in it, and faith is paying off.
Well, that's the thing. I really feel like this season we're just going to see just so much about Mandalore and what's going on there, and them trying to rebuild it and their culture and everything like that. And that's the thing. I'm hoping that Din does become the character that does reunite everyone. Like he reunites his clan with Bo-Katan's clan, and he becomes the so-called the Mandalorian because he is the Mandalorian. That's what the show is based on.
It seems like that's what they're doing.
That seems what they're doing.
Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, very well.
Very well.
Okay, so I suppose the ratings then for this episode. I'll go first. Final thoughts. It was good. One step up. Looking forward to the rest of the season now. It was good. I enjoyed it. Still, could have been a lot better. There were a few things in it, obviously, that didn't quite line up yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, well, that's fair.
It's a step up from last week's. Yeah,
6. Okay. Damn, I'm a little bit higher than that. I'm sitting on an 8. I'm sitting on an 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. This feels like what I wanted. More kind of journeying to new locations, meeting new things, doing cool new stuff. It feels like this is what every episode should be. It should just be consistently this good, if not better, which I feel like it can do. So, so when this comes out, especially because, probably because the first episode kind of sucked, this one's just a lot higher because it brings it back to where it should be. In terms of quality. And I just really love some of the shots with the spaceships and Grogu's little point of view with the crocodile little lizard thing. And then General Grievous's cousin or whatever showing up. Stuff like that was really cool. And then of course
it was very I forgot to mention about that weird little creature thing. Very much John Carpenter vibes, like the Thing almost, because of the head, how it came off and everything like that.
Oh the little lizard. Sorry, not the lizard. Grievous's cousin just starts splitting
Grievous's cousin.
Yeah, that was funny.
So I was like, it's like the Thing. Creepy.
Yeah. No, I love that. It's such a cool trope that these things kind of play off. But I'm sitting on an 8. I hope it
good solid 8
stays consistent. I hope we get a consistently good season.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing now. Going into it is, I just hope this week's or next week's episode, is the same, if not better, than this episode.
It's the Mandalorian.
I don't want to be taking a step back.
Can't stop this up.
No.
Oh man, it's got the whole of Disney's Star Wars riding on its back. It can't stuff up. Man.
Well, especially when they just cancel 2 films.
Oh yeah, they do that. Wow.
Yep.
I think that concludes our little Mandalorian talk. Unless you have anything else you'd like to say about it.
Nah, that's really it.
I think that's good.
I'm just looking forward to next week's episode now. So.
Oh yeah, same. I can't wait. We got to wait till Wednesday. Ooh. It's exciting. But that's not the end of this episode of the podcast. It's not the end. We've got a little bonus surprise for y'all.
A little bonus surprise because it was kind of a last minute thing because I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, same. I forgot to. You told me. So
Yep. Well, as of recording this, tomorrow will be the 95th Oscar.
Whoa! 95 of them. Jesus.
95 of them? We should go back and watch all 95 of them. Who's going to get slapped this week? Find out. Stay tuned. Coming soon.
Man. That's going to be a headline.
Will Smith, what? He's not allowed to go there for the next 5 years.
No, someone else is going to have to slap someone for him. Who's it going to be?
This time, someone's going to get a foot slap.
Maybe Will Ferrell or something will come out and just slap Margot Robbie.
Someone's going to make a joke out of it.
Oh, for sure.
Jimmy Kimmel's hosting this year.
Yeah, he's going to come out and that's the first thing he's going to say. He's going to come out and be like, "Oh, I hope everyone has a slapping good time," and then it's, it's like,
so yeah, we thought we'll just do a quick run through before the end of today's episode of
maybe some
a couple awards
predictions
and maybe some predictions. Hopefully they come true. Hopefully on a few of them. So we'll start with, what have I got here?
Read 'em up.
Best actor in a leading role. Nominees are Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Paul Mescal in After Sun, which I've read the screenplay for, and it was absolutely amazing.
Right.
Bill Nye for Living.
Bill Nye? What?
Bill Nye.
The science guy?
Not Bill Nye, the science guy, the actor.
Was that it?
That's it. That's it. That's it for the leading role.
Who do you think's going to win?
Well, I hope it is Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
I haven't seen it.
Because this is his first film coming back after quite a few years away of not being in film.
I heard that it was really
from anything. It is. It's very depressing. It's very like a strange, not strange type of film, but it's very like not your normal type of film because he plays as an obese character that is dying. In it, obviously called The Whale. Very heartbreaking, yeah. And it's also got the girl from Stranger Things, the redheaded one, Sadie Sink.
Yes,
she's plays as his daughter in it.
She's good.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it is Brendan Fraser, just because I want to see him win this, and then hopefully he gets back into doing more movies. Yeah. Just because of how Hollywood treated him.
A sequel to The Mummy?
Well over a decade again.
Ooh.
Yeah. Where he keeps having a little tag thing popping out every time he goes to an award show where he's just like, "Hey, you want to be watching The Mummy from 1999 right now?" So would I.
Oh man, no, I'm probably gonna have to disagree. I think I think Austin Butler's gonna win for Elvis.
Yeah,
I feel like that's more of an Oscar film. I feel like they're gonna give it to him.
Okay, yeah, that's still a pretty big.
And that's also coming from the fact that I haven't seen The Whale, so maybe that.
Yeah,
maybe I'd prefer Brendan Fraser's performance, but I still think Austin Butler's gonna win.
Well, that's the thing. I've only seen The Whale, The Banshees of Inisherin, and Elvis. I haven't seen anything from Paul Mescal or Bill Nye's. Even though I've read the screenplay for After Sun, I still need to go and actually watch it. Screenplay was good. That's all I can say. Yeah. So you're going with Austin Butler.
Screenplay. Yep.
Austin Butler. I'm going with Brendan Fraser. We'll find out tomorrow, see who wins. Do we want to do supporting roles or just leading roles?
Nah, we'll just do leading roles. We'll just do a couple. Okay.
So actress in leading role, we got nominees Cate Blanchett in Tar, Ana de Armas in Blonde, or Blondie.
Yep.
Andre Riseborough in To Leslie, Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay. And I think I know a lot of people's guesses for this one.
Yeah. I'm thinking Michelle Yeoh is going to win.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Even though
I have a suspecting feeling that film's going to be winning a lot of things.
Yeah. Which I'm not 100% sure I agree with. I enjoyed the film.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it was the best thing to come out last year.
Yep.
I mean, by a long shot, but it was an enjoyable film. I don't think I'd watch it again, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah. So I'll be going for Michelle Yeoh as well for it. But I did enjoy Blondie by Ana de Armas. I did it more Blonde, about Marilyn Monroe. Bit of a weird title though. They just called it like Monroe or something like that.
I don't know.
I didn't mind that so much, and also Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans. She plays as Steven Spielberg's mother. I think, if I can remember,
something like that.
But yeah, like I'm guessing, Michelle will get it just because she's won so many other awards, probably. And I think a lot of people are like, "You need this, get it, girl."
Out of those films, that was probably my favorite of the lot, just because it was such an enjoyable, different movie. But she'll probably win. What's up next?
Yep. We can probably go straight to Best Picture.
Whoa!
If I can find it, it's probably all the way down. This is the big one. This is the one that's all the monies. Here we go. Best Picture.
Whoa.
Nominees: All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yep.
Avatar: The Way of Water. The Banshees of Inisherin.
Haven't
Elvis. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah, it was
The
okay.
Fablemans.
Haven't seen it.
Tar.
Haven't seen it.
Top Gun Maverick.
It was right.
Triangle of Sadness.
Haven't seen it.
And Women Talking.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things you haven't seen.
Yeah, I know. There's been worse Oscar lineups, but that's okay.
Okay, you go first, buddy.
Oh man, this is a tough one. It's a tough one because, again, I wouldn't be surprised if Everything Everywhere All at Once won. But if I had to pick out of the lot, I'd probably pick All Quiet on the Western Front.
Ah, okay. I'm a bit surprised by that.
But I don't think it'll win. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite a lot. I don't think it'll win.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the thing. Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front was a very, very well done war film.
Mm.
Is it 1917 level though for me? No. There's a bit of a running joke at school at the moment between me. I love 1917.
I think I preferred it to 1917. I will say.
There's like nothing war films for 1917 for me. Here we go. We can start discussion now. But no, best picture prediction for me would have to be my favorite film of last year, which is
1917.
Top Gun Maverick.
Really?
I really hope this gets picked best picture.
It was good.
It probably won't.
It was really
because
good.
It's a Tom Cruise film. Tom Cruise films never get nominated for
well, most of the time
Oscars or anything like that.
Kind of mid.
Yeah,
but
and that's because I really like Tom Cruise as an actor as well. But
he's all right.
Like, fingers crossed, it does. It probably won't. There's too many other good Oscar-worthy films on there, like The Fablemans.
I hate to break it to you.
The only thing, like, I don't hope that gets it is Avatar: The Way of Water.
Again, I don't think that'll win either.
I hope that doesn't win. Like, I'd be happy with anything else. Wow. Just as long as that doesn't get it.
Water. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was better than the first Avatar. But yeah, I don't think Top Gun Maverick will win. But I really love the plane stuff in that movie. God,
just the way it was
such a
shot.
rush in the cinema. It was a hell of an experience. The rest of the movie, I didn't really care about though.
Yeah, well, Top Gun Maverick has like two of my favorite actors of all time in it. It was such an amazing, well shot film. I fell in love with it. But yeah, I've also heard good things of Triangle of Sadness, which has also been nominated.
Yeah, I've been
and also Tar.
Same, been meaning to watch those. They're both on my list.
Yeah. So I would say most likely I have a 90% chance saying that Everything Everywhere All at Once is probably going to get it.
Probably.
Most likely more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that Top Gun Maverick gets it.
There's
hope that maybe All Quiet on Western Front gets it. Out of those two, I hope those two get it. Hopefully one of those two. Hopefully one of us are right.
Don't know.
If it's anything else, well, I haven't seen Tar. I haven't seen Triangle of Sadness. I haven't seen Women Talking.
So yeah, we can't really speak on those.
Yeah,
but I've heard good things.
Yeah,
but you know.
And I watched The Banshees of Inisherin last night, and it was a strange film. It wasn't horrible. Yeah, right. It was just different. Coming from that film, I want a baby donkey. He has a little pet baby donkey.
I'd never heard of that movie.
Just a small donkey. It's on Disney Plus at the moment. It just came out. So yeah, it's different. That's for sure.
I'll give it a check. I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Oh, anyway, I think with those predictions, that brings us to the end of the second episode.
That's it. That's the end. We're over. My voice is dying.
I know. We've been going for an hour and 3 minutes.
Damn.
Man.
I mean, it was a better paced podcast than last week.
I feel like it's better. Hopefully the audio is better too. I should have gotten that sorted. Hopefully you guys.
Well, we should ask the audience. Audience, does it sound better?
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Do you like our podcast so far? How many people have listened to our episode 1? 50?
Send us a message. Give us a 5-star review. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on Amazon Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, which is pretty much all the main ones so far, which is pretty good. We had over 40 listeners on the first episode, so thank you guys for that. And hopefully we have 400,000 on this one. Just a small guess.
Yeah, just a small guess, you know.
If we don't get that, there wouldn't be no third episode. No, I'm just kidding. There'll be a new episode every Sunday coming out. for the hit new podcast, We Talk Film.
And that has been We Talk Film.
See ya.
See ya.